Hello, it's Phil Thatch, and this is the first in a series of videos from my family trip to Walt Disney World. I did a lot of photography while I was there. I only carried the Fujifilm X-T3 and two lenses, the 18 to 55 2.8 to 4 kit lens and the 55 to 200 3.5 to 4.8 semi-telephoto lens. That's all I carried. We have a lot of stuff to do in Walt Disney World, and there's not a lot of time for photography, especially switching lenses and carrying lots of gear, so I trimmed it all the way down to just that. And I did manage to work in a lot of photography through the week. This video will start out at our hotel room where I made some photos from the balcony. Well, hello, it's Phil Thatch, and I'm here at Disney's Riviera Resort. I'm on our 6th floor preferred view balcony, and I wish I could get a great photograph of that from this balcony, because it's really the only place I can go outside and shoot, because it's currently raining. There's a great rainbow that way, but I'm not shooting that way. I'm kind of shooting over here, and I'm making some long exposure shots of, you can see the Skyliner there in the distance. So that's what I'm working on, and I think I'm going to switch. Right now I have the 18 to 55 lens on the X-T3, but I think I'm going to put the 55 to 200 on. And right over there is the marina for Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, just across the water, and it's got some nice light on it, so I think I'm going to shoot it with a little bit longer lens. Okay, so this is a 9-shot panorama made from our balcony looking out across the water at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. I love the way the light looked that afternoon. Lots of purple in the sky, just absolutely beautiful. And here is the entire panorama on the screen at the same time. It was 86 millimeters f9, 6/10 of a second with the 55 to 200. Well, I made some shots with the 55 to 200. I made a panorama with the 55 to 200, but now look at the sky. It's kind of getting crazy over there, and I've got a composition with the 18 to 55 that has this pool right here in the foreground, and it has the entire lake and some of that awesome looking sky in it. I'm shooting at f9 ISO 160 in 2 seconds with the kit lens. Got a 2-second timer, I think, turned on. Nope. Now I do. So there's that one. It's really beautiful out here. It's hard to get a good composition though. I wish we were up a few floors higher, and I wish it wasn't raining so I could move around instead of just being right here on the porch. You can hear someone in a neighboring room asking if the pools are open, and they weren't yet, but they will open soon. But first, let's look at this beautiful photograph that I made. This is the shot that I just made during that clip. You can see the beautiful purple in the sky, and you could even see the purple a little bit in the video clip before. But now we'll go on and check out the water slide. We got the green light. Woo-hoo-hoo! Whoa, it goes 2 ways. I did a full room tour of our room at the Riviera Resort, and I'll put a link to it up here. And now we're going to go to the next morning and spend the day at the Magic Kingdom Park. All right, well, here is our first photograph from the Magic Kingdom. We were the first people on the Jungle Cruise. That's the ride we rode first, and we were on the first boat. And I think you have to be on the first boat to get this reflection shot, because all the rest of the boats, the water will be ripply from the boats going by. I think the skipper says that the safari folks were not able to get the Jeep to start, but when the gorillas came to camp, they were able to get it to turn over. This is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, the wildest ride in the wilderness. Okay, here's a clip from the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Okay, here's the big drop on Splash Mountain.
Did you get wet?
I did get wet.
Not me. I am dry.
Swabbies, what may I offer?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Everyone an egg layer.
We were there the second week of July 2020, and that's when the parks reopened after the pandemic. Well, the pandemic was still raging on, but the country was starting to open back up, and they required that you wear a mask at all times unless you were eating or having a beverage. And they had hand sanitizing stations all over the place as you entered every line, as you got off of every ride. I really felt pretty safe. They had a lot of really good social distancing measures. They were running the rides and roller coasters nowhere near full capacity. And I felt pretty good about it. Here's a photograph that I made at Heather's favorite ride, the Haunted Mansion. Our Doom buggy stopped at this location, and I was able to really take my time, set the camera on the front of the Doom buggy, slow the shutter speed way down to 1/8 of a second, and get this photograph of the hitchhiking ghosts. But it still took 6400 ISO and f2.8 to catch it. We ate after that at a restaurant called the Pinocchio Village House, and it's a nice little restaurant and has beautiful stained glass windows over the place where they serve you the food. So I took a photograph of Heather with the stained glass windows bokeh-fied, and here is a 200 millimeter shot. The previous shot was 18 millimeters. This one's 200 millimeters, a little bit of detail of the stained glass windows and this light. I made a GoPro hyperlapse as Casey and I rushed through Tomorrowland on our way to Space Mountain, and then I recorded the two lighted sections of the roller coaster.
It's on the right.
All right, now we're way up on the Astro Orbiter ride. We don't ride this one too much because the line is usually ridiculous, but it was short today.
Hello, it is I on the spaceship going in the circles. Okay, we're here in Tomorrowland at Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom, and we found these beautiful flower bushes. Not sure exactly what they are, and there's some great butterflies on them. And I've been making a few photos with the X-T3 and the 55-200, and some of them have turned out pretty good. This is not my normal butterfly rig at all. Usually I would use a 500 millimeter lens, but it's working okay. I'm shooting wide open at f4.8, which is what this lens is at 200 millimeters, and I'm shooting at 1/640th of a second automatic ISO, and I'm underexposing by 1/3 of a stop. It's coming out pretty good. Holy crap, Heather says there's a hummingbird. Gotta go. And now it's gone, so now I can stay.
Really happy with the results using the 55-200 for butterfly photography. This is a zebra long wing butterfly, and I've photographed those before at the Tennessee Aquarium Butterfly Garden, but never in the wild. Here's a honeybee on those beautiful flowers. I'm not sure exactly what sort of flower that is, but it's really pretty. And let me show you what Casey does while Dad's playing with the camera. She lays down on a park bench and soaks herself into her telephone. And after I checked on her to make sure she was okay, I went back and got one more butterfly photo. Really happy with the way these turned out. I'm surprised that I was able to do butterfly photography with only 200 millimeters. This is one of my favorite photos of the entire trip. This photo with the 18-55 at 55 millimeters f4 of this brass Pinocchio with Jiminy Cricket on his foot. You can see a beautifully out of focus fountain in the background, And when I made this shot, we were heading out of Tomorrowland and heading back over to Frontierland for a little more roller coaster action. And here we are, once again, on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
So Splash Mountain has reopened. What time is it?
It is 6:35.
6:35. The park closes at 7. This is the second day since the park's reopened post-pandemic closure, although the pandemic is still raging. And we are heading to Splash Mountain with probably almost no wait. We just walked on to Thunder Mountain. There was only 4 people on the whole coaster, 5 people. It was Casey and Heather on the front row, me in the second row, and 2 people on the very back row, and that was it.
This also might be our very last time riding Splash Mountain the way it is.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be changing it and switching it over to a Princess and the Frog theme.
Yep.
We're going to go down the grade, the big one that is not very large. Here we go. Oh, that was a good one. Casey has the water on her stuff. What do you think about that, Casey Poo?
What?
I thought it's good. I got some in my iPhone.
Water?
Yeah.
Come on.
What you doing?
I'm riding Big Thunder for the 5th time today.
Okay, okay. So after that roller coaster action, we headed on out of the park. I like this Walt Disney World logo that's on the train station at the very front of the park. And I also thought these flowers were beautiful, so I made a shot of them. And then when we got back to the hotel room, as it got dark, I did some more serious photography as I walked all the way over to Caribbean Beach. Okay, so I'm using the T function, which allows me to go longer than 1 second, which is the lowest. And I'm on ISO 160, and my aperture is f8. So 3 seconds, f8, ISO 160. And what I'm going to do is use a 2-second timer and start about right there. Three-second exposure, and I've got 2-second timer and 3-second shot, so it takes 5 seconds to make each shot. I'm not sure how many I've made, but I'm going to do one more and get some leeway on the other side of the resort. I wish I had gotten over here a little bit earlier during the blue hour, so I may come back another night and do another one of these.
But that's my shot for tonight.
Pretty cool.
So the Caribbean Beach Resort was actually closed. I had to sneak over there to make this panorama of the resort we were staying in, which is Disney's Riviera Resort. So here's the full version of it as I let it scroll back and forth. Just an absolutely beautiful resort, and I was glad I was able to make my way over there to make this panorama. It ended up being 6 shots to get the full panorama, and if you look all the way to the far left, you can see the Skyliner station, the Riviera Resort Skyliner station. And gosh, I really like that place a lot. Okay, thanks for watching the first episode of our photography mini-series from Walt Disney World featuring the Fujifilm X-T3 camera. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, hit the bell so you can be reminded when the next episode comes out. I really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.